Hello and welcome back to Football Now, a new YouTube channel where we'll be running you through this weekend's round of Premier League fixtures, giving our own predictions and also running you through the betting odds for all the games. As you can see by the title, this game will be focused on Newcastle versus Burnley at 3 o'clock at St James's Park on Saturday afternoon. Before we get into that game, I want to remind everyone of the ongoing competition here at Football Now. It should be coming up on screen now. Yeah, there it is. Win a football shirt of your own choice. Just subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. That will be running until we do hit that 100 subscriber mark here on the channel, on the YouTube channel. So get involved. Let us know your own score predictions for this game and all the other videos that we will be doing for each of the other games. The more involved you are, the more likely you are to be pulled out as that one lucky winner to win a football shirt of your choice. The decision or the announcement will come on our Twitter there as well, which you can see at the bottom of the screen at Football Now UK _. So like I said, get involved. The more involved you are, the more likely you are to win that football shirt of your own choice. And back onto this video, we mentioned Newcastle, suddenly an informed Newcastle now at home to Burnley. Connor, do you want to run us through those betting odds, which should be coming up on screen now?
Yeah, I mean, Newcastle, they're obviously heavy favourites at home, 1-3 against Burnley. I mean, normally, when you see odds like 1-3, I say, well, there's not really a lot of value in that. But I think if you put it in an acca, actually, there's decent value here because I just don't see how Burnley can trouble Newcastle here. Newcastle, obviously, they're on a high. Last game in the EFL Cup, they knocked out Manchester City 1-0. But then before that, away from home at Bramall Lane, they had an 8-0 hammering of Sheffield United. So there's just all positive vibes there around Newcastle at the moment. Sorry, I've got a bit of reflux there. You got 8 different goal scorers as well, which is ridiculous. How do you score 8 goals and get 8 different goal scorers? I mean, it's unbelievable. It kind of reminds me of when Liverpool won 9-0 last season and Mo Salah didn't get on the score sheet or even get an assist, which ruined everyone's FPL. But yeah, I mean, not only are Newcastle absolutely flying, but Burnley are struggling. You see there Newcastle in 8th position, scoring 16 goals now. They only scored 8 last week. But Burnley, the other end of the table, 19th, they've only got 1 point. They've shipped 13 themselves. Burnley have scored half the amount of goals this season and what Newcastle did last game. So it just shows you how difficult it is, how difficult things are for Burnley. I think we mentioned in one of the previous previews, well, I did anyway, I think collectively these are the 3 worst teams to have come up from the Championship in a while. Newcastle started off the season, a bit dodgy. They had a narrow win against Brentford and the loss of Brighton. They lost to Liverpool when they had an extra man under a lead in 1-0. So there's a few disappointing results there, but they made their Champions League return and got a draw away at AC Milan. And then they got that 8-0 victory against Sheffield and then 1-0 victory against Manchester City in the Cup. So you just see Newcastle riding away from momentum. And like I said, I don't normally see much value in a 1-3, but I think, if you're building an acca now, I don't see how Burnley are going to get anything from this game. Just looking at Burnley result, I think they played quite well actually last time out, Burnley, against Manchester United, but they still lost. It was a wonderful goal from Man United to get the 3 points, but I think this isn't the game where they're going to start getting points on the board. I'm just going to get up there next few fixtures. Actually, they've got Luton after this game, and they've got Chelsea at home as well, and they've got an out of form Brentford, and they've got Bournemouth. So they've got a nice run of fixtures after this game, Burnley. So maybe they'll have half an eye on that, but this is going to be really difficult for them to get anything out of it. And I think Vincent Kompany's going to struggle.
Yeah, I think Newcastle are just the latest example of how fickle football can be sometimes. There was this talk a couple of weeks ago about, they're struggling, have they been found out? Are they going to really struggle this season? Now they're unbeaten in 4 games. They beat Brentford 1-0, dug in to get the 0-0 against Milan away from home in the Champions League, batter Sheffield United 8-0 away from home, and then they go and turf out the treble winners Man City in the Cup last night, and all of a sudden it's completely changed. There's a lot of optimism around that place again, and I agree with you. I just don't. Anything can happen in the Premier League. We've seen that time and time again over the years, but this is one game where I genuinely cannot make an argument for Burnley getting anything. I just do not see how they get anything from.
Guys, jump on Burnley now because they're going to win about 3-0.
That's it. Yeah, you can just see it coming a mile off. That's going to get clipped, and it. But I'm just looking at the injuries for Newcastle. I think Harvey Barnes is out. Joe Willock as well. Callum Wilson being assessed. Sven Botman being assessed. As is Bruno Guimaraes. Alexander Isaac as well. Did he come off last?
Players left from last week who's not injured.
Literally just look at Dan Burn as well, and who's ill. I think he's being assessed. I think Isak came off, didn't he, against Man City after he got the goal last night. So I don't know whether he's going to be fit, but I don't want to sound too disrespectful, but I don't think that's going to change any of our predictions there, even if they're not. I just can't see how Burnley.
I'm not sure if they've got any players left now. If all those players don't play, maybe I'm going to change my prediction.
Yeah, who knows? But a lot of them are being assessed, and it does say that I'm on Premier injuries, and the potential return is this weekend. So, I'm not sure about that. I'm looking at Burnley's now. They've got 6 players out. Gudmundsson out till next month. Ekdal as well, the same. Lyle Foster, I think he's suspended. Did he get sent off against Forest? So I think he's still out. Obafemi as well, a thigh injury. Also looks as though he could be out. I'm just looking at the fixtures now for Newcastle. First of all, they've got PSG at home in midweek in the Champions League. That place will be booming at St James's Park for that. I'm sure in an ideal world you don't want to get too ahead of yourself, but Eddie Howe will be looking at trying to get this game.
And Mbappe gets to see his future home as well, St James's Park.
That's it. He gets to wire up his, like you say, his future playing grounds. But I think Eddie Howe in an ideal world would want to get this game put to bed, and so you can rest a few of the players if they are back. Obviously, look, you can't take anything for granted in the Premier League. You want to be too disrespectful to Burnley. I think they got West Ham away then next in the league, Newcastle, and then Palace at home. West Ham away being an interesting game. I think I don't know. I can't remember seeing the Premier League table, but I'm not sure if they're around. They're in a similar position, aren't they? I think in and around there.
West Ham have done well. Well, yeah, next to each other. West Ham are 70. You see it on the table there.
There you go.
Lost the past 2 games, but they've been difficult games, haven't they? Liverpool, Manchester City.
They had chances against us, against Liverpool as well, and then Burnley. And looking at their fixtures, we mentioned it in Luton and the Everton Luton preview. They travel to Luton away midweek. Obviously, that game was rearranged after I think some changes still had to be made to Kenilworth Road. You see them 2 there in the bottom 3. Both of them came up last season. I think that's a huge game already. It's a 6-pointer for those 2. I don't think either side certainly can't afford to lose, but if you see them both there on 1 point, I think they'll both be trying to get a win there almost, just to get one over on the other. After that, you see they've got Chelsea at home. Chelsea, you just don't know what version of Chelsea is going to turn up. Brentford away, a difficult game. Then Bournemouth away as well. You see Bournemouth just a few places above them. So there's a big month coming up for Burnley. Like I said, I don't want to sound too disrespectful, but I just cannot see a way that Burnley get anything.
Sounding very disrespectful, Brad.
Yeah, it's getting very disrespectful. I keep saying it's helping, but yeah, I just can't see the way they get anything from this game, if I'm being honest. I'd like to be proved wrong, sorry, but I'm not too optimistic. Connor, do you want to give your prediction? See the odds there.
Well, I don't know now. You've mentioned those injuries. I think what I'm going to say actually is for people who, if they're wanting a bit of a punt, wait till tomorrow. Wait till Eddie Howe's press conference and see what he says, because if all those, if most of those players that Brad mentioned aren't playing, or probably won't, I'm just sure there'll be a late fitness test on a lot of them. If a lot of them aren't going to play, then maybe stick a 5 on Burnley, because that's a lot of players there, a lot of your key players that might miss out. So I think I'll wait to see Eddie Howe's press conference before I start, maybe putting him in an acca or something like that.
I don't think that's injuries. I think they're just slight knocks. So I think most of them are expected to come back in for anyone that is watching before I get the blame for someone putting on a.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'll take the blame. And if you fancy a risk, don't put it in an acca, but maybe stick a 5 on Burnley, just because you never know. But yeah, if you are building an acca, with everything that we've said, with everything sort of that Newcastle have been doing the past few weeks, they are going to be very, very. It is going to take pretty much all of those, I think, to be missing for Burnley to get anything. So I am going to go with 3-0 Newcastle. And for them just to continue riding the way that they've been riding the past couple of games.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-0 home win. Newcastle get the job done. And then hopefully I think their eyes will be on midweek, massive game against PSG at St James's Park. So, like I said, I mentioned at the top of the video, let us know your own predictions. You can see there, me and Connor have got our own head-to-head predictors going on this season. Our own little system. We get 3 points for the correct scoreline and just the 1 if you get the right result. Like I said, keep up with us, see how you fare this weekend and all the other weeks as we move on through the season. That concludes our preview for Newcastle versus Burnley. I just want to mention again what I mentioned at the top of the video: the ongoing competition here at Football Now. You can see it on the screen there. Win a football shirt of your choice. All we've got to do is subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. When we hit 100 subscribers on the YouTube channel, we will be picking out one lucky winner from all the comment sections, not just this video, but all the other videos as well. So like I said, the more involved you are, the more likely you are to be pulled out as that winner. The decision will be announced on our Twitter as well at Football Now UK _. So give us a follow over there. Keep up with the channel. We're looking to grow this and really increase our output. And like I said, the more involved you get, the more likely you are to be pulled out as the winner of that shirt. So good luck to everyone who does get involved. We will see you in the next video. I keep forgetting to get the next fixture on
It's
screen.
West Ham and Sheffield United. So big game at London Stadium there.
Big game there for West Ham and Sheffield United now after last weekend's result, as we've spoken about there. We'll see you over on the next video.